Hello audience, I am Sujata, Associate Professor of Chemistry working at Women's College, Kolar. This presentation is related to Chemistry Paper 5. The module is Chemistry of Natural Products. This is for 5th SEM BSc students belonging to Bengaluru North University, and it is prepared as per the syllabus, and this is session 21. Learning objectives of this session is to understand the elucidation of ring structure for D-glucose, determination of ring size of D-glucose based on the oxidation of glucose using HiO4 and nitric acid. To understand this, one need to have the background about the stabilities of cyclic compounds. According to Weierstrain theory, shorter the ring size, less stable are the molecules because of more angle strain. How hemiacetals are formed? These are formed as a result of combination between the aldehydic group and hydroxyl group within a molecule. Per iodic oxidation, acid oxidation of glycols and polyhydroxy compounds, when these compounds containing adjacent hydroxyl groups are oxidized by periodic acid, they will be cleaved adjacently to form formic acid and formaldehyde. This reaction is a measure of size of carbon chain. Coming to the outcomes, students will be able to understand the facts about the elucidation of ring structure and determination of ring size of D-glucose. Coming to the elucidation of ring structure, there are two key factors to deduce ring structure of glucose. Number one is formation of cyclic hemiacetal. This is achieved between C1 aldehydic group and OH group of C5. This is due to the intramolecular interaction between the aldehydic group and hydroxyl group. This results in a new asymmetric carbon called as anomeric carbon. This gives rise to two isomers, alpha and beta isomers. Second fact is formation of two isomeric monomethyl glucosides. When the open chain aldehydes react with methyl alcohol, they form usually dimethyl acetal, whereas glucose produces two isomeric monomethyl glucosides. So this shows that the carbonyl group of glucose forms cyclic hemiacetal with hydroxyl group of C5 to give a stable 6-membered ring. Here is the formation of cyclic hemiacetal between C1 and C5 to form two isomeric cyclic hemiacetals. Here one can see C1 will form cycle with C5 through oxygen atom. This is the alpha isomer and this is beta isomer. W. N. Haworth proposed another ring structure for glucose because the Fischer projection formula does not accurately describe the true shapes of cyclic hemiacetal forms of glucose. This projection is flat or planar hexagonal ring in which the ring atoms are not shown. The groups which are projected at the bottom are same as that of groups which are towards the right in the Fischer projection. And here you can see OH group, if it is present on top it is beta isomer, if it is at the bottom it is alpha isomer. Now coming to the determination of ring size, whether this ring has 6 membered atoms or 5 membered. To understand this, there are two methods. Number one is oxidation of D-glucose using periodic acid. In this reaction, one can notice that one molecule of glucose requires 5 molecules of periodic acid for oxidation and cleavage to form 5 molecules of formic acid and a molecule of formaldehyde. Usually, the size can be revealed by the amount of HiO4 consumed by the sugar. One equivalent of HiO4 corresponds to 1 carbon-carbon bond cleavage. Since this glucose requires 5 HiO4 molecules, so one can easily say that it contains 6. It is a 6-membered ring. Second and very important method is oxidation of D-glucose with nitric acid. This involves various steps as shown here. First, alpha D-glucose is treated with methanol to give methyl alpha D-glucoside. Then it is treated with tetramethyl sulfate to get methyl tetramethyl alpha D-glucoside. Next step is the hydrolysis in presence of acid. During this methyl group is removed and the ring opening occurs here. Cleavage occurs here, resulting in the ring opening to give this open chain structure. This open chain contains 1, 2, 3 and 4 tetramethyl alpha D-glucoside. And here you can see the aldehyde group is free. This, upon oxidation with nitric acid, undergoes cleavage at two probable positions A and B. If the cleavage occurs here, the major product is dimethoxysuccinic acid. If the cleavage occurs at this position B, then the major product is trimethoxyglutaric acid. Isolation and identification of these two products, dimethylsuccinic acid and trimethylglutaric acid, clearly shows that it is hydroxyl group of 5th carbon atom C5 is involved in the ring formation with C1, and it is further confirmed by X-ray analysis. Suppose if this were to be a 5-membered ring, it would have given rise to some other set of diacids. So from this fact it is evident that glucose contains a hexagonal 6-membered ring where oxygen is the hetero atom, and this structure is the pyram structure having 5 carbon atoms and oxygen atom. So it is therefore named as glucopyranose. As we understood from the various theories to explain the stability of cyclic molecules, if all the ring atoms are not forced into one plane, such a ring becomes free from angle strain. That means it retains the tetrahedral bond angle. So therefore this conformation, one can see here, the hexagonal ring is not planar. Instead there are puckered conformations. Here you can see the chair forms of alpha D glucopyranose structure. Now coming to the review or recapitulation. In this session you all have understood how the ring structure and ring size is determined by various experimental facts. Now coming to multiple choice questions. Question number 1. Which is a product obtained when aldehydic group condenses with hydroxy or alcoholic group? It is cyclic hemiacetal. Second question. According to Bayer's theory, which of the following statements is correct? So, according to the theory, lower the angle strain, more stable will be the cyclic molecule. Next question. The products formed during periodic acid oxidation of glucose are 5 formic acid molecules and 1 formaldehyde. Question 4. Ring formation in glucose occurs between carbonyl and hydroxyl groups of C1 and C5. Last question. The probable diacids formed during the oxidation of tetramethyl glucoside with nitric acid followed by carbon-carbon bond cleavage are dimethoxysuccinic acid and trimethoxyglutaric acid. Option B is the right answer. Thank you.